Thank you for joining us, and we're going to continue our study about fellowship with the Father and with the Mashyach. And I will read from 1 John chapter, or Yahu Kanan, chapter 1, verses 3 and 4. Or actually verse 2 and 3. For the life was manifested, and we have seen it, and bear witness, and show unto you that eternal life which was with the Father was manifested unto us. Now think about this for a moment, what he's saying right here. He's saying that for the life was manifested, and we have seen it, and bear witness, and show unto you that eternal life. Now he's describing what life he's talking about. And one thing I want to point out here is that eternal life is not, a lot of people think when they think in terms of eternal life, they just think of living forever or never dying. And of course that's involved in that, but that's not really what eternal life is. Eternal life actually is the Ruach, is the nature of Yahuwah. It is what Adam lost in his fall in the garden. When Yahuwah told him that they could eat of any tree in the garden, except there was one particular one that they were not to eat of, and it was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. There's a whole lot that could be said about that, but I don't want to get into that. But we know that Yahuwah told them that if you eat of that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, on that day you shall surely die. Now, we know that, unfortunately, that Adam did partake of the tree and ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And because of that, he died. And Yahuwah said that on that day you shall die. Now, we know that physical death is simply a result of spiritual death, because spiritual death actually happened first in Adam. And on that day he ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. He actually did die. Now he didn't die physically for about 900 years later. But the death process had begun because life was removed from him. The spirit, the Ruach, was no longer in Adam. He no longer could have fellowship with the Father the way that he had fellowship with him before. See, this is important. This is why when we understand not only what happened in the fall, but what Yahusha, the Mashiach, came to restore unto lost man, was that he could have fellowship again with the Father. And that's what he's talking about here. He's getting ready to say that, and let me finish reading this. And he says that, and we showed you that eternal life which was with the Father was manifested or made known to us. That which we have seen and heard declare we unto you, that you also may have fellowship with us, and with the Father, and with the Son, Yahusha HaMashiach. See, we can have fellowship one with another. See, I could have, if you're a believer, I could have fellowship with you that's very unique. You know, I desire to be and to have fellowship with other believers. And I know that you also get the same satisfaction and fulfillment by being around other believers. That you have fellowship because we have something in common. Not only that we have something in common, but there's a love there. There's it's just a connection there that we can fellowship one with another, because we're created to have fellowship not only with one another, but with the Father, with the Creator. And so he came, the Mashiach came to restore that fellowship and to give us that life that we no longer had. So, with that said, I'm going to have to pick up on our next session, and I encourage you to be listening in. And until then, shalom.